Stay. Hey. Come.
Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm first week ballin', tryna get my bread long. You know the game gone and my mind been blown. Different decisions that I done made got me fucked up now. Still gon' thug the life I'm living, still gon' hold this shit down. Every day of my life, yeah, nigga chasing cheese. And I'm saying niggas that be around, they won't see you off your feet. My mama been doing bad, but I ain't going into that. I done picked that girl up when I caught my first package. I be damn, me and my people hurting for something for a day. That shit happened, the next man ain't getting nothing. Fade to the root of evil, and that's my damn best friend. And I put that on my life, ain't nobody gon' fuck with him. You try to jam it, yeah, that ass getting chopped. Trying to serve, ain't got no business on my block, now bitch, you're getting chopped. Now either way you try to fuck with my pockets, don't believe that ass getting chopped. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm back in the mix. Those flaky niggas better stand down. Came home, got me some yam, I'm the man now. Niggas, some bitches all from my face, I ain't know who they is. Everybody up from my mix like I'm a hero and shit. Fall back, I'll buy a brick. Right now, I'm on a mission. I'm giving you 2 for 20, got grams going for 50. Putting that in my pockets, the nigga, you bullshitting. What the fuck you ain't listen? I done told you I got to get it. Nobody depending on me, so it's all mine. I ain't stressing out by myself, that's how it going down. My mama fighting her little dicks and she gon' be alright. Before I ever tweaking and begging, I put something up on the pipe. It's a little fraction of my life, still all in for a lick. Lurking for fatty, looking for niggas to tone mix. Start to lurking if I'm hurting, different side come out. That flip shit, stop the Jacob, Mr. High come out. Gonna be, you know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep.
Welcome back to your favorite channel. Another great day, another great evening. Talk about this dog talk. You know, dog news, giving it to my brothers the way I always do, fair and uncut, raw and unbiased. I appreciate everybody rocking with the Bay today. Salute all the brothers and sisters down in the chat. All the people that's watching this video from afar. Big shout out to everybody, man. Big thanks to everybody that support the channel. Big shout out to my brother, Provocative Bully, representing and supporting the channel, man. Big salute to you, Provocative, and thanks, homie. Thanks. Hope you're doing well out there, man. Hope you're doing well. And like I said, we got some dog talk, a couple topics to touch on today, the way we always do, and we just gonna get straight into it, man. Today's first topic, you know, we're gonna talk a little bit about advancement, you know. And when I say about advancement, I mean, you know, we not downing nobody. We just comparing and contrasting. You know, we just gonna compare and contrast. And then I do got a little bit of news as well. You know, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you this little bit of news. Lake Placid man arrested for animal cruelty. He had several dogs. They emaciated. I'm talking about Skinny. You know, he was using that $50 keep. When we say skinny, skinny. So I'm gonna give y'all that real quick, and you know, we gonna get into this dog talk, man. And like I said, I hope everybody having a great day, great evening, great night, great morning. You know, let's get into it. Lake Placid, K9s, animal cruelty. Let's go.
James Idson Barfield, a 42-year-old man from Lake Placid, Florida, has been charged with 6 counts of animal cruelty after Highlands County Sheriff's Office deputies discovered more than a dozen dogs in severe neglect at his residence. Following a report about an extremely emaciated dog nursing 4 puppies in the neighborhood, the Sheriff's Office Animal Services Unit conducted an investigation yesterday that led them to Barfield's home on Flamingo Street, where they found the animals in dire conditions. According to WFLA, some of the dogs were found to be healthy, but 6 showed serious signs of neglect, including malnourishment to the extent that their bones were visible. The deputies reported finding the neglected dogs in an unclean kennel with no food or water available. He remarked that the kennels had not been cleaned in some time. Following the discovery, Barfield's bond was set at $30,000. Animal Services took all of the dogs from the kennel, while the remaining animals were left in the care of family members at the home. These family members will now be subject to regular checks by Animal Services to ensure proper care is being administered to the remaining dogs. In a statement obtained by Highlands County Sheriff's Office via Facebook, officials underscored that the arrested owner's dogs had been discovered in a state of serious neglect.
Now, let's speak a little bit about advancement, because we also going to touch on the topic of litter mates when it comes to the old school dogs and different things. We're going to touch on that topic as well. But advancement, and what I mean by that, okay? Talking to any of my brothers who feel like they athletic or, you know, had any athleticism in them, you know, in their younger days. Now, let me ask you this. Let's all go back to, let's go back to 1950, you know, or in the 50s. Let's go back to 1950s NBA. Now, my question to all brothers out there right now, especially my young brothers in their early 20s, the ones who feel like they Kobe and LeBron out there, or the future Kobe and LeBrons. My question to y'all brothers is, if we go back to 1950s NBA, you know, how do you feel you would fare if we just sat you with all the skills that you got right now today, you know, and I'm talking to brothers who know how to play ball, you know, with all the skills you got right now today, all the dribbling you could do, all the moves, you know, whatever you learned. If we take you right now and put you in the NBA 1950, how would you fare? You know? And even if it wasn't NBA, a college or high school, 1950, how would you fare if they just dropped you on one of them teams? Now, if you sit back and look at it, you know, and pay attention, you know, some brothers, you ever seen that movie Sweetwater? If you seen that, you seen how certain moves wasn't even done in the professional league of basketball yet. You know, so when we go back that far and we talking about bringing a brother from 2025 with real basketball skills and sending him in 1950, or we'll take any brother from the NBA right now, you know, maybe some of the brothers who we may consider sorry, take them from the NBA right now and sit them in 1950s NBA. How would they fare? It's so many things them brothers from the 1950s don't know about the same game. The very same. Take the ball, shoot it in the hoop. That's all it is. Score a point. Nothing changed, but everything changed since 1950. A brother from 2025 probably, he probably will score 100-some points a game. And like I said, I asked any brother or sister, I went to the NBA players, but I'm saying any average brother or sister who got real basketball skills and you good with that rock, good with that ball, you put you in 1950s professional level, most likely you either gonna do pretty good or you gonna do damn good. Crossovers and things like that wasn't even invented then. Brothers wasn't dunking the way they dunk now back then. It's all kind of moves that brothers do now that they didn't do back then, but they could have did it back then, but the creativity wasn't there. There's nothing stopping them brothers from the 1950s from jumping up doing a 360 windmill. Even if they couldn't do it in the game, they could have been practicing at home and just did it in the game just for the hell of it one day. So nothing stopped them brothers from doing that stuff besides it not existing yet and nobody having the creativity to do it. So now I transfer this thing to the dog game. Same game, same objective, to win with your dog, but we in a different time frame where, maybe not saying you would demolish everybody from the 50s, because you're going to have certain ones that's going to stand out. Certain brothers in the NBA in the 50s could play with brothers now. Certain brothers. But for the majority of them, they wouldn't be able to keep up with the average basketball player now. So when it comes to these dogs, it's like I find out and I see that the dog sport is one of very few sports that we hold on to all of the past and consider all of the past better than all of the future and all of the present. One of the only sports where the baton is not passed to the next best player. Even basketball, football, baseball, you got Babe Ruth, you got Hank Aaron, all the people that played all the sports from boxing, Muhammad Ali, all them fighters, Rocky Marciano, Andre Agassi, them in tennis. You got people who was running each sport during their era, but when brothers pass it, big shout out and big salute to the brothers, that break the records. It's not like, oh, they trying to hold on to the past. You got the football players, OJ and them brothers, all these different football players that broke records during their days, and then the younger fellas came up and broke more records. But like I said, this dog game is one of the few sports that instead of saying, okay, he was one of the greats, you can hold on to him, hold on if you want to hold on to the name wise, but there is no greats that can't be outdid. Only in the dog game will you consider, oh, he great and he can't be outdid. Any other sports you do, he was great, but somebody could come along greater. And that just is what it is. You can't call yourself a sport if you're not going by sport rules and sport, the way the people in the sports handling their stuff. Let's go to racing. NASCAR, Indy 500, Formula One. Let's go to the 50s. Same goal. Go on a track, win the race. Same goal, but more technology now. Up-to-date times. A Camaro from the 60s, a stock Camaro from the 60s, most likely is not going to beat a stock Camaro from 2025. I mean, on the dash, you might not even have the same thing on the dash. Same goals though, go fast. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, as time go on, as time get more modern and we get into the future and we going into the future, like you gotta understand and gotta believe that the stuff is like brothers is doing things that's not gonna get recognized. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, I'm talking about across the board, because we still want to focus on these same old schoolers. And when I say focus, I don't mean we don't talk stories about them. It's gonna be impossible not to talk stories about certain ones of them. But at the end of the day, you know, and you know I'm not lying. To some brothers, there can never be a better so-and-so or a better so-and-so. You know, there's never gonna be a dog man that comes along that's better for the dog game than Mr. Earl Tudor. There's never gonna be another dog man that come along that's better for the dog game than Mr. Maurice Carver. It's never gonna be brothers that come along that's better, because we holding on to them like the records can't be broken. You know, some of these brothers that we hold on to the records, they only accounted for, yeah, they had yards, they had dogs, but how many famous dogs do they have? How many dogs do they have that actually made a difference? You know? Okay, we go to Mr. Earl Tudor. Yeah, we know he was a big, you know, big in the dog game. But how many dogs he had that actually made a difference? We got Dabo. We got, what, Jeff? How many more he got that made a difference? Okay, let's say he got 5 dogs. Now, the guy that we hold so high, he got 5 dogs that made a difference. You don't think somebody else done came along with more than 5 dogs that made a difference in this dog game? You don't think there's a brother gonna come along with more than 5 dogs that make a difference in this dog game? You know, no doubt a lot of brothers' dogs coming off some of these dogs, but that only comes with time. He didn't do that. That was did by default. You know what I'm saying? That comes with time. Brothers right now that's breeding your dogs. Your dogs could be the next Tudor's Dabo in 20 or 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this dog and pretty much all the dogs that's out now. It's no different. Tudor's Dabo wasn't the first pit bull or from the first class of pit bulls. You know, he was just one that a dog man had, a famous dog man had. That's in a lot of people's dogs. A champion. You know how many champions done came since Tudor's Dabo? You know, if we go to like some of the dogs on the old rum list, from Yellow to Jeep to Frisco to, you know, them dogs, you know, they produced more, like, I don't want to say the wrong thing, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to important dogs, Frisco, Yellow, and Jeep produce more important dogs than dang on Tudor's Dabo. But hey, man, like I said, you know, we go to the past no matter what sport we go to. We go to the past in tennis. You know, let them brothers play. You don't think the ones more modern day time now could probably do things and probably doing things on the court that some of them brothers weren't doing back then? They probably got all kind of angles they hitting the ball, being creative with it when they hitting it, you know, compared to some of them brothers from the 50s. But it's the same game. It's just advancement. That's all I'm talking about, man. Advancement. You think the brothers from 1950 boxing gonna be able to stick with one of these brothers from these days boxing if both of them on like 2 champions? This champion from modern day time was taught more things than that champion from the 50s. That champion from the 50s, there's a lot of fight techniques that he haven't learned yet that that champion from 2025 knows that they teaching these brothers. But they got the same goal to knock a brother out, you know, within 12 rounds, same goal. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just modern times, man. Modern times. Brothers probably thought it'd never be somebody to break OJ records or these brothers' records. Then come along Walter Payton, then come along the next brother, So it's like, which part of the game does the Pitbull community consider themselves a sport? When you're not playing by the way the rules the other sport players play by. You don't even give room for the newcomers to come up and do their thing. It's always, talking about people from 50 years ago. You in bed in them little 17 and 18-year-old and 19-year-old brothers coming up is, listen, know the history of these dogs is great. You must know the history of them, but don't dwell on the history of these dogs. Be better than them brothers, and don't be around. I'm gonna say it like this, right? Now I'll take that back. Don't listen to folk that try to put that in your head that levels can't be passed. We gonna always give them their props because of what they did. Without Toodles Dive-O, a lot of dogs wouldn't exist today. But like I said, all that comes with time, man. All that comes with time. You think Toodles Dive-O was that important when all them other dogs and everybody was around then? Before Yellow, before all them dogs, Red Boy, Eli, you think Toodles Dive-O was that important then? No. But when it come down to the stories and the dogs we got and all this modern day stuff, we go back and we see him at the forefront. We give Toodles Dive-O more credit than the brothers in his era ever gave him. And like I said, man, when it comes to these pit bulls and this game, when is the game gonna say, hey, that brother over there, he doing his thing. But he ain't no Maurice Carver. But he ain't know what Maurice Carver did to make y'all feel like he is unpassable. What he did. Bred some great dogs. Brothers do that every day. What make his great dogs better than your great dogs besides time? And the time went by and these dogs trickle down in different people's hands and now the stories can be told. Once time go down and your dog's in different people's hands, the stories will be told about yours the same exact way. Everything that is created when it comes to material stuff, when it comes to events, whatever it is outside of human beings, every year, things are made to get better. The phones, every year the phones get better. Everything made to get better over the years. TVs made to get better. Everything is made to get better. Why the dog community, the dogs made to get better, but the dog men, somehow or another, you can't be ranked up there like these other brothers was in the past. You know what I'm saying? Why is it like that with the dogs is what I'm saying. If it's same way we saying, some brothers are arguing, say the dogs from the back in the days was better. But at the end of the day, man, the things brothers know today's time, the dogs gotta be better. Only thing make all of us feel like the dogs back then was better is because the laws were lenient back then. You can roughhouse these dogs back then in them days, and you can do all kind of crazy stuff, and you can see certain things out these dogs, so make us think these dogs was better. But in actuality, you got a whole lot more better dogs than what you had back then. You know how many hundreds of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of pit bulls that touched American soil since the mid-90s? Like somebody could probably tally up and see what the pit bull population was in America from the mid-90s back and the mid-90s forward. You're going to have triple the population of dogs here now compared to it was back then. You got triple the dog owners now. So it's like, when is the dog game going to get better all the way around from the bottom to the top? Because we always saying, giving the dogs compliments, but somehow or another we feel like giving the men compliments, especially the younger brothers, giving them compliments. They don't get the compliments the old ones get. They not, on that level to get the compliments. They not on that level to speak about them like you speak about the older brothers. Somehow or another, y'all figure like age, somehow age mean you bulldog, you got your rocks off and you was kicking ass. What if you was an old loser? Y'all give the old loser more props than you would the young winner because he's older than the young winner. You look at the wrong things in this dog game. And like I always say, too much of this dog game is based off hate. Now, I want to say this, when it comes to little mates, man, and brothers and breeding and different things like that, a lot of times, modern day times, we'll think that because this brother produced in this way, this brother may produce in this way, and sometimes it does go down like that, but if we look back into the past, how many times have it went down like that? Not saying it didn't, but let's just go back to some of the famous dogs. No Mayday wasn't his only little mate. What about Mayday litter? What about Barracuda litter? We only hear about Barracuda from his litter, and it may be a few more that we hear about, but Barracuda majority. What about Yellow John litter? Chavis Yellow John. What about Yellow litter? JR. But he wasn't no yellow. Some people may argue that JR was better than Yellow. But at the end of the day, we can only go by what we have laid out in front of us. We don't got no puppies off JR compared to the puppies off Yellow, so we can't compare it like that. He can't be compared to Yellow to the level that Yellow is. But little mates don't always mean you're going to get the same thing, but at the same time, that's what we always say, try to breed the best breeders you can make, and that way your percentages go up. When your percentages go up, then you get instances where you got little mates that's doing the same things, producing the same things, and the most important thing of everything, I keep telling brothers, the most important thing of everything, and it's gonna go back to Mayday pup litter, Yellow litter, everybody litter. The most important thing is who your dog's getting to. Who the dog's getting to. That's what it's all about. If I get the dog if I got 5 dogs, and I get one of them to a brother who made him a grand champion confirmation dog, in the ring, and then I give him and I give the other 4 puppies, I let, some pet lovers buy them, Pitbull pet lovers buy them, and then I let somebody else buy one that is just bad with dogs. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's going to look like this dog that the brother got over here is the best dog because he the only one really shining. But that goes, like I said, it goes to who you get your dog to. If I got all 5 of the dogs to that one brother, then it's just imagine what all 5 dogs would have did. We probably be saying, oh, that's a whole litter of hot dogs. But when I scattered it out, giving one to a brother who don't take care of his dogs, now he got one he done ruined over there. He gonna be complaining, oh, them curves, oh, they ain't acting right. Trying to start the dog up at 4 months, do this, oh, they ain't do. Man, listen here. He ruined one. Then you got the pet lover. He not even doing nothing but watching TV with their dog, so they're never gonna even take them to a confirmation, treadmill, no nothing. So, you just gonna consider that like it's not bad, but it's not gonna help you from what you need help in doing. But it's not bad because they're going to great pet lovers, But when it gets to the right people, that's what it's all about, man. I can sell 20 litters back to back. And only out of all 20 of them litters, only 5 puppies got to the right people. All of them got the people that was going to take care of them, but only 5 of them got to the right people that can make names for them. And that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about when it comes to a lot of these old stories, a lot of these great dogs. a lot of these dogs that made great litters, you know, what'll happen with that same litter if you scatter that litter out instead of selling that litter to certain people? You know, a champion litter to be talked about is a litter that all 5 puppies were sold to 5 different dog men. You know, 5 different dog men and none of them in the same clique. Because see, 2 or 3 dog men in the same clique, they'll work them 3 dogs, and that's considered one dog man. Combining all that stuff together like that. You know, what's the chance you get 5 champions off a litter that you sell to 5 different people with 5 different personalities? And say the litter was 5 possible champions. What's the chance you're going to still get 5 champions? Going to 5 different people, 5 different personalities. Your chances is very low, man. Very low. You may get 1, you may get 2. But you can chalk the other ones up just off of default. Somebody not gonna take care of this, right? You know, everybody not gonna compete in the same events you competing in. When it comes to the litter mates, what about Charlie and Jeep? You know, we can see brothers who got a pretty heavy Charlie pedigree, and then you see a Jeep pedigree, and you're gonna get different kind of dogs. Litter mates. You know, I mean, hey, it's just in the pudding, man. Like I said, the best thing you can try to do for anybody, in my opinion, is try to boost the percentage ratio in your dogs up. And you get that by breeding best to the best and breeding great dogs to great dogs. Whether it's great dogs inside out, you know, from the heart to the structure. You know, a great structured dog without the heart, you know, is an incomplete dog. A great dog, a dog with a great heart and a screwed up structure is an incomplete dog. You know, because at the end of the day, structure mean a lot. You know, brothers say, I don't care how it look, I don't care how it look. But listen, you know, a dog like, we're going to say, them shorty cowboy dogs, right? Just say the worst case that you ever seen, right? With them shorty cowboy dogs. With the legs like that, you can't exercise like a dog with straight legs. You know? You know, you can't do it. So that's why I say it's an incomplete dog. Whether you say, oh, structure don't matter, I just want a dog with the heart. Yeah, you can have a dog with the heart. But if you ain't got that, at least a decent structure, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff can affect your dog in whatever type of event he in. You can't get the workout you want because he ain't built for working out. You know? It just, and like I said, that does not mean you won't see a weenie looking pit bull that's a double grand champion. You know, that don't take nothing from the dog. I'm just saying, if that same dog would have had a better structure, it would have been even better. But yeah, my brothers and my sisters, I ain't gonna stay on that too long. You know, it's all about advancement, man. And when it comes to the dog game, you know, I don't look at stuff the same. I don't look at it the same when it comes to, especially after the last 2-3 years when a lot of these stories start coming out. I don't look at this dog game the same, man. When this Big John stuff start hitting the air over the past couple months, I don't look at this stuff the same. You know, I cannot believe what you telling me. You know what I'm saying? It's like this, right? You know how, remember on, what that was, Hustle and Flow? With Terrence Howard was trying to give Ludacris his demo CD in the bathroom. And, you know, he gave it to him and he felt, you know how Terrence Howard was like, you know, he was bigging up Luda. He felt, you know, he was the man. And then I give you my demo when I walk out and then you throw my shit in the toilet. And I come back and I see it in the toilet. It's like you shit on your biggest fan. You know, you shit on your biggest fan and you expect repercussions not to happen after that. You know, so that's why I say I don't look at the game the same, man. Too many people done lie about these dogs. Too many people done did a bunch of bullshit when it come to greed of these dogs. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too much loyalty in this game when it come to these dogs. You just gotta get your dogs and do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, everybody gonna be out for them, man. And like I said, when it comes to these old school stories, I'm glad I got my own because I'm glad I don't gotta rely on the next man's stories or what the next man was saying and his stories and his fibbing and fabbing. You know, like I said, if I had Melioda them, right, and I'm telling y'all, I got a bunch of dogs over here coming down off bow them, but I don't never show them to y'all, right? I got a bunch of dogs coming off bow, like descendants off of him, at least 15, 20 of them. Females, males, I got them all over here. And then you find out I'm lying about it. You know, what does that make you do? Everything I told you on my shows, that's like, oh, he could be lying about all that. That motherfucker a liar. You know what I'm saying? Once you are labeled a liar, folk don't believe that shit, man. Half the shit you say, I know that's how it is around here. You know, you got brothers just, everything they say is a damn lie. You don't believe shit that come out their mouth. Not talking about these brothers, I'm talking about some folk in general. You know? But in this dog game, man, I can't look at it the same. You know? I can't. Just can't. And like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of folk are blind. A lot of folk just don't care. You know, same way folk just don't care about a lot of things that's going on in society throughout the United States. A lot of folk just never cared, stayed in their house, you know, while the other folk deal with certain situations. It's going to always be like that when you have brothers that just don't care. What's what? You know? And that's why I said, man, plain out simple. I blocked certain folk off my Facebook, you know, because they're just blind. I just, you know, I can't make you see nothing the way I want you to see it. You got to see it the way you want to see it. But at the end of the day, some folk, I just can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And you might be can't deal with me either. So it's we equal, you know? But yeah, man. This dog thing, man. A lot of brothers, you know, I heard like since brothers start doing videos and stuff, I hear brothers be like, oh, this person is trustworthy, that person is trustworthy. Man, listen, man. You never know who these brothers is that you can trust out here, man. When it comes to these dogs, as far as what they breeding, what they got. That's why I tell y'all all the time, you know, stop getting gassed up off of that Titan kennel sperm. It's no different. Same type of situation, man. Same type of situation. Only thing different is they got the paper registry where they can back themselves and the sperm up, you know, and you know damn well they gonna back walk them all two up with the fake sperm. You know, and this another question I'm trying to figure out. You know, how far do we go back before these dogs stop being off Big John that was supposed to be off Big John? What's my dog that I had off Big John? You know, I had one off Little Babe supposed to be in Big John. Had one off Big John and Miss Kitty. None of them dogs off that little look like Big John. You know, they probably look like Miss Kitty, which is cool. But how far do this shit go back? It makes me ask now. And you know where all this come from? When you take a brother who's he green, and then you try to come run game on folk out here that know what's what. You know, I told y'all before, having a dog 10, 15 years don't mean you ain't green. You couldn't have been learning shit in all that time you had them dogs, and now you still dumb as hell 15 years later, you still green. Time don't make you, time don't elevate your greenness to a seasoned dog, man. What you do does that. You know, you can do all that in a matter of a year or two. Or it took you 20 years to learn what I learned in 2 years. Man, we've been doing that shit when I was a teenager. You just learned this shit in your 30s. And you had dogs since you was a teenager. You know, so time don't make you seasoned. It's what you do. So, I mean, hey, man, at the end of the day, like I said, we just discussed the issues at hand today, the issues at hand in the dog community in modern day times. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I addressed that big giant issue for one, because I run that shit. I can say how much ever I want to say it because I run it. You know, I can talk about it all I want to talk about because I run it. You know? 2, we run the real shit. You know? If I got one dog over here, I ain't gonna lie to y'all brothers and say I got 40. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do it. We different kind of folk, man. And at the end of the day, I can't expect a lot of y'all to feel the way I feel because a lot of y'all are fans when it comes to that walk 'em all stuff. So, you know, you just happy just to talk to one of them brothers, the real walk 'em all, you know. So you're not gonna, you just, like I said before, a lot of brothers is blinded, man. Blinded. And at the end of the day, stay like you stay. We gonna keep talking like we talking, doing what we doing with these dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want, hey, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. The difference between the 2 bulldogs, you try to come in the game on a lie. I came in the game on the truth. You know? And at the end of the day, man, like I said, you can't refer me to something that you wasn't doing good with. You know, why you gonna refer me to that school when you don't know nobody that did good from that school? Why you gonna refer me to that trucking company when you don't know nobody that came up out of that company? Why you gonna refer me to anything you know, if you ain't got nothing good from it? You know? So, man, like I said, everybody gonna feel how they gotta feel. To me, to where y'all look at folk like, oh, this is regular everyday shit to me. You know? Everyday shit. I just can't see how you have folk from a whole nother city that try to act like we don't know what's going on in our town. And like I said before, man, I knew folk been greedy when it comes around the board to anybody, when it comes to these dogs. But I didn't understand the level of greed that brothers stoop to when it comes to these dogs until I actually start getting into the social media stuff with these dogs. You know, and you start seeing how folk treat brothers, you know, don't want to see dogs stuck to the dog and you done paid them $2,000 for the breeding, Craig Titan. I pay you $2,000, but I can't see my dog stuck. Oh, I ain't a photographer. I'm a dog breeder. That's why your ass on the damn news. You know, that's why you on the news. He ain't no little me, big you no more. You know, it's big us if it's going to be big anything. You know? But like I said, man, I just don't look at it the same. You know, it ain't nothing but a dog, man. You know, 50% the dog, 50% you. You know, time, breed. I ain't talking about too much tonight, man. You know, appreciate y'all rocking with me. Y'all hit that like button up. You know, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay legal. PB K9s, and we out.